Hello, everybody. It is Thursday, the 21st of April. I've been doing a lot of thinking these last few days, and I hope I'll get this together. What I've been thinking about is the Eastern traditions. You know, the meditation, the idea of, true bliss is when you have no longer got desires, there is no more ego, the self is gone, and you're becoming no form. Which I've been taking the piss out of that in my Easter video, and it really got me to thinking about what is it that actually that annoys me so much about that way of thinking, because it is annoying the hell out of me. And I just wanted to see exactly where I disagree with that, because there's something in me that is rising up against that badly. So, and I've been watching a few videos over the last few days, and I hope I'll get this into a coherent story. But let's start with here, where we are in form, which is what they describe as the lesser state. Yeah. I've been listening to Nassim Haramein, and he is describing our energy as oscillating between this reality and all. Yeah? So we're dipping in and out and in and out. The ego is the bit that dips in. Yeah? But we are in constant flux, in and out. So why would the ego feel the need to dip in? It's looking for something. It is trying to find something by entering into this reality. And that is what creates the form. It's movement. It is movement within the all that creates the form. So we are moving like mad. You know, coming to the Eastern traditions, maybe we should slow down a little bit. Yeah, because we are just racing. Maybe we should stop a little bit and think about what it is we're doing. But still, it is a movement that creates life, that creates form. So what is the purpose? I said we're looking for something. And what we're looking for is meaning. A meaning for our existence. We know that we are. We don't know why we are. So, and it is this search for meaning, again, that creates life and that creates the form. Now, as we are at the moment, we're getting an awful lot wrong, because that is, we have given our lives a meaning that is actually not good for us. Or it is not according to the Creator. Let's say it like that. So if your meaning, from the beginning, God had the desire, which gave life to him, which was to subdue this place and to rule over it and to have dominion over it. And then he created us, and our life gained meaning through that we should serve that intention. That gave meaning to our life, and that gave us a form. Something, we started moving, we started thinking, we started trying to find knowledge to serve that intention. Now, when we ate from the tree of good and evil, we questioned that intention that was given to us. The meaning that was given to us, we questioned that. And we're kind of trying to find our own meaning. Is the meaning of our existence that we are slaves to that intention? Or is there something more to us than just that? But that is what we're doing, and we're in this world, and this world is image of the will of the Creator. That is, there are a lot of different energies, lots of different consciousnesses in different stages of awareness. The grass is not as aware as we are, I think. And, that is what the Creator is. It's lots of different parts that kind of need to live in balance with each other, and we're trying to learn to do that. Or that should be the meaning of our lives. We should try to live in balance with all the other energies. Would that create a state of no form, a state of stillness? Quite possibly. At some point it might do that. But I had this thought, and it does not work completely, but I was thinking about Picasso, of all things. The memory came to me when our teacher took us to a museum to see some Picasso paintings, and to me they were just a few scribbles. Especially there was this picture of a torero and a bull, and they were just a few scribbles. And well, I was bad-mouthing Picasso at that point. I was a teenager, saying that's nothing. That's just a few scribbles. But then our teacher took us home, back to school, and said, try that. Try to create the picture of a torero and a bull with just a few scribbles. And it's near on impossible. So Picasso was actually started as a classic painter, yeah? So big canvases, with all the details and everything in it. And then he reduced the details until he had only a few lines by which he could describe the form, yeah? But the point is, he needed to know the whole before he could do that. He needed to be able to paint a detailed picture before he could reduce it to just, and that is, if we want to get into the stage out of the form, we need to know the form first to be able to take away. If that is what we should do. There's a lot to learn. You have a great knowledge and you don't know it. Because even if you go out and look at the hedge row out of your house, all the different plants and everything, and you might see some creepy crawlies, you know them. That is why you can see them. So your knowledge is vast. You think you have no knowledge because you don't know the labels that somebody put onto those things. That's not knowing. You already know them because you can see them. You know the energies, and your ego can put a form to them. That means you know them. You can get to know them even more through what you are. But your knowledge is already vast. Right, so there we are. We are in this world, we're in this reality, and we know things. Not aware that we know them, because we don't understand knowing in the correct way. So now let's go to the Eastern tradition and what's actually annoying hell out of me. And that is to say, you must detach from this knowing, and you must come into a state where you exist without the forms, yeah? And that state of existence is described as I said, as a state of stillness, of no pain, of no desire. So you have stopped oscillating into this reality. You have no more desire. And then you just sit there. You just sit there. And you know what you are. And now the first thing they say is, up there are no boundaries, which is total nonsense. As above, so below, or the other way around, there are boundaries. Even Thoth describes, when he is in a place of no form, that there are boundaries out there. Yeah? The only reason why they perceive it as no boundaries is because they're no longer bumping into them. They've stopped moving. Yeah? So, and they might say that in this world you are restricted because there are all these boundaries, and you keep bumping into them because you keep moving. Yeah, and you should learn something out of bumping into a boundary. If it causes you pain, if it makes you unhealthy, if it kills you, there's a boundary, something you should not have done, something that didn't give. It's not within the will of the Creator that you should have it, because it doesn't give to your life. So that you're still learning about the Creator. But there you've stopped. You've actually stopped learning. You found a place within the boundaries, and you've stayed there. And you're no longer expanding, you're no longer learning, you just, this is who I am. I now know myself. And that is, I don't know, I've said that at some point maybe your cup is full. Yeah, maybe there is a point where what you are is filled, and then you can expand no further. That's a possibility. I don't think it is, but it is a possibility where you say, I'm full and I'm staying at that stage, and this is what I am. And that is what they are I ams. Yeah. Another reason why they might be in that state of no longer moving, of existing, is fear. Fear of getting hurt. They're no longer partaking of life because they might get hurt. So they might be there because of a state of fear. Which then I wouldn't say that is the greater part of existence. Now, if you, and I thought, how do they actually get to, to connect to those states of consciousness? And that is, a yogi would take himself out of life. Yeah? He would go into himself, or even physically go into a cave. So he removes himself from life, and he gets in that state, let's say in a cave, that is all he knows. And you see according to what you know. So you've taken yourself out of the fullness of life, of knowing all of those forms and all of those interactions, to just yourself in a cave. And then you connect to something that is according to yourself. As I say, a oneness that only knows itself. And that is still because it no longer is part of the interactions that would create movement. So is that the greater state? And the last thing I was thinking about, and again I'm going back to Nassim Haramein, and he was saying what is creating time. And I've actually heard two different versions of it. I heard somebody of the Kabbalah answering that question as well. So the Kabbalah guys said that time is the gap between the fulfillment of your desires. Yeah, so you're going from one desire to the next, and what appears at time is a gap between them. But that is going forward, creating time going into the future. And then Haramein said time is a trail of memories, which still exist. Yeah, we're leaving a trail of energies that are memories. And they exist, but then that is going into the past. So you have the time going forward by desires, going backward into memories. And I was thinking about what is actually out there. Now, I believe there are other bubbles like ours, or what David Icke describes as small, narrow bands of consciousness. Well, I would see it as a bubble. You're in a bubble of what you know. Your stories inside that bubble. And there might be other bubbles of life, like ours, that are a different story. They interpreted the energies somewhat different, which created a different picture. Yeah, and so there might be other bubbles of life. There might be bubbles of consciousness that are still in, if you see it as movement. So in this world, in form, your movement is going like mad. There might be a form of consciousness that is still in some way alive. Yeah, but as I said, it's not attached to form. So it might, the energy might go a lot slower. There might be another state, bubbles of memories. Just memories. There is no more life. There's not even consciousness, but memories. And that would be probably the greatest part of stillness, because it's not really attached to anything anymore, but it's still there as a memory. And I'm wondering if they attach to something that is that still, if the bubble they've gone attached into is actually only a memory, in which case they are talking to the dead. They are, honest to God, talking to the dead. So the less movement there is, the less life there is, the less expansion of the self there can be. If you've given up looking and you're saying this is what I am, you've stopped expanding, you're no longer evolving. And you might exist in that state, but if the whole thing, the meaning of it all is that you should get a knowledge of the Creator, expand your knowledge of the Creator, then in those bubbles of I am, that meaning is gone. There is no more meaning other than exist. And then you say that is the highest meaning? To I exist. I am that I am. I have no more desire, I don't want to know anything anymore. Or is it the more still it gets, the more meaningless it becomes? If the meaning is expansion, more knowledge of the Creator, then the stiller you get, the more meaningless it becomes, and the more it is removed from life. That is to say, you're going further and further, far out. All you might be tapping into are dead bubbles of memory. And you're kind of aiming for that. You're aiming to become a dead memory. And say that is the greatest state of consciousness. I think far out is not better. The further out you go, this is light. This is where the knowledge is creating life. Yeah, and it hurts. Or it could feel really, really good. I mean, we're always saying, it's like painful. It's painful at the moment because we're asking the wrong questions. We're looking for the wrong thing. And we keep bumping into the boundaries. And yeah, it hurts. But if we learn the boundaries and live within them and know what is good for us, this could be a beautiful, beautiful experience. And it could be bliss. Experiencing nothing is not bliss. Nothing is what it is. It's nothing. True bliss can only be felt here. So, as I said, they're talking to the dead. they are talking to dead memories. And they're trying very hard to become one. Okay, and as I said, that to me now is why it annoys the hell out of me, because that is absolutely not what I would be aiming for. Anyway, I think I leave it at that for today, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.